If you are enjoying our content, please give us a like and subscribe. How to boost your immune system. I think by boosting your immune system, you can fight off almost any sickness without taking medication. There is quite a few medical studies done on this subject that is not in the mainstream media. This is just a few.
What happens if you have people add fruit to their regular diet? 3 apples or 3 pears a day as snacks between meals on top of whatever else they were eating. Fruit is low in calories, but not zero, so if you add food to people's diet, even healthy foods, won't they gain weight? No, they lost a couple pounds. Maybe it was all that fiber? If you remember, we learned our gut bacteria can create anti-obesity compounds from fiber. That's why they also had a cookie group. 3 apples, 3 pears, or 3 cookies with enough oats in them to have about the same amount of fiber as the fruit. Despite the fiber, adding cookies to one's diet does not lead to weight loss. They think the weight-reducing secret of fruit is its low energy density, meaning you get a lot of food for just a few calories, so it fills you up. Energy density is a relatively new concept that has been identified as an important factor in body weight control in both adults and in children and adolescents. Energy density is defined as the amount of calories per unit weight of a food or beverage. Water, for example, provides a significant amount of weight without adding calories. Fiber, too. Thus, foods high in fiber and water are generally lower in energy density. On the other hand, because dietary fat provides the greatest amount of calories per weight, foods high in fat are generally high in energy density. The CDC offers some examples. High energy density foods are like bacon, lots of calories in a small package. A medium energy density food is like a bagel, and a low density food typified by fruits and vegetables. In general, the lower the better, with 2 exceptions. Soda is heavy. So heavy that by energy density it looks less harmful than it is, and nuts have so much fat they appear less healthy than they are. Otherwise, though, the science supports a relationship between energy density and body weight, such that consuming diets lower in energy density may be an effective strategy for weight control. This is because people tend to eat a consistent weight of food, so when there's less calories per pound, calorie intake is reduced. A small drop in energy density can lead to a small drop in weight, and the greater the decrease in energy density, the greater the weight loss. Energy density can be reduced in a variety of ways, such as the addition of fruits and vegetables to recipes, or by lowering the fat or sugar content. And indeed, that's how we evolved, eating predominantly low energy density foods, such as fruits, vegetables, plants, and tubers, starch-filled roots like sweet potatoes. The first study to emphasize how fruits and vegetables could affect energy density and food intake was conducted more than 30 years ago. Researchers were able to cut people's caloric intake nearly in half, from 3,000 calories a day down to 1,570, without cutting portions, just by substituting less calorie-dense foods, which means lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and beans, compared to a high-energy density meal with lots of meat and sugar. Nearly half the calories, but they enjoyed the meals just as much. They tried this in Hawaii, putting people on a traditional Hawaiian diet with all the plant foods they could eat. Lost an average of 17 pounds in just 21 days, resulting in better cholesterol, triglycerides, blood sugars, and blood pressure. Caloric intake dropped 40%, but not by eating less food. In fact, they lost 17 pounds in 21 days eating more food, 4 pounds of food. But because plants tend to be so calorically dilute, one can stuff oneself without getting the same kind of weight gain. And the energy density of foods is of interest for weight management, not only because it allows people to eat satisfying portions while limiting calories, but also because reductions in energy density are associated with improved dietary quality. For example, lower energy-dense diets associated with lower risk of pancreatic cancer. Lower energy density foods tend to be healthier foods, so we get the best of both worlds.
Hey there, I'm going to be speaking about 7 foods that help boost your immune system. It's important to have healthy immune systems so that we can fight off infections and disease. So I'm going to be telling you more about my 7 favorite foods that I love that boost the immune system. So let's get started. These are my top 7 favorites. The first 2 are lemon and ginger. You may wonder why I have grouped these 2 foods together. Well, because they give many similar benefits, like they both help keep colds and flu at bay. Ginger also soothes sore throats, encourages coughing to remove mucus from the chest. They both have anti-inflammatory properties, and the anti-inflammatory chemicals in ginger stimulate blood circulation and opens the sinuses. Lemon contains vitamin C, an antioxidant, which helps fight damage from free radicals and protects cells from oxidative stress, therefore strengthening the immune system. When I wake up in the mornings, the first thing I do is squeeze some fresh lemon into a lukewarm glass of water and drink that. This helps with digestion throughout the day as well as detox the body. You can also add lemon juice and ginger to black tea as an extra detox drink. Or you can make ginger water to use for any tea throughout the day by boiling a piece of fresh ginger root in a pot of water for about 5 minutes. Use the water for whatever tea you may enjoy throughout the day. Regarding vitamin C, your body does not store vitamin C, so having it throughout the day in small amounts will increase the absorption. People who take large quantities of vitamin C at once, particularly in supplement form, are losing most of it, so take it in smaller doses more frequently in order to enjoy more of the benefits. When squeezing lemons, I don't throw away the peels, I actually use them. I remove the pips, I cut off the ends, and I place into a food processor until finely ground. Then I place the peels into a glass jar with some apple cider vinegar to keep it fresh and place it in the fridge. I do the same with ginger. I use fresh ginger, I don't peel it, I just wash it and roughly chop and add to the blender. You can store this lemon and ginger mix for about 2 months in the fridge and just use it whenever you need it. For example, you can use it in salads or smoothies or yogurt or add to finished stews or chicken dishes. You can also add to a jug of water for lemon or ginger flavored water and keep it in the fridge. There are some precautions. If you are drinking quite a bit of lemon water, I always use a straw because lemon does contain acids that can erode away at teeth enamel. Ginger, if you have too much ginger, people who are on medications for high blood pressure or diabetes should be cautious as ginger may lower blood sugar and increase insulin levels. People with a blood disorder need to be careful with too much ginger, which can increase bleeding. Garlic is a natural immune booster due to its antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal properties. I use garlic in just about everything every day. I'm kind of lost without it. You can also ingest raw garlic crushed or mix it with a little bit of olive oil before ingesting, as it can burn your stomach. Or if you don't want to mix it with olive oil, you could take it in very small quantities at a time. Because of its healing and sulfur properties, you can also crush it and use it on skin irritations like boils. Garlic is also a really good prebiotic, so it feeds good bacteria in the gut. When cooking with garlic, it's important to wait at least about 10 minutes after crushing to allow the compounds to fully develop, and use within an hour as the compounds are not as effective after an hour. Only use fresh crushed garlic daily, do not store it, and don't buy bought crushed garlic or garlic capsules which have lost most of their benefits. And also be careful of preservatives which are found in a lot of bought crushed garlic. Precautions, well, there are some people who are allergic, so obviously these people will not be able to consume garlic. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, which helps fight infections. It also helps maintain a healthy digestive tract and reduces swelling and inflammation, which can lead to many diseases like cancers, arthritis, allergies, or irritable bowel. There are so many ways you can use turmeric. In cooking, in smoothies, yogurt, in hot or cold drinks. You can also make a turmeric paste and keep it in the fridge for about 4 weeks and use as needed. This is my turmeric paste that I make. And you can use this ready-made paste in many different ways. Just remember that the absorption of turmeric is improved by cooking the paste and by adding oil and black pepper. It's less effective without the oil and the pepper. And you can add this to make a delicious turmeric tea latte. You can add different flavorings like vanilla essence or cinnamon or ginger or cocoa, and just experiment and make the perfect drink that you enjoy. The absorption, as I've said before, the absorption of turmeric is improved by cooking the paste as well as adding oil and pepper. You can also use turmeric root. Most health stores will sell fresh turmeric root. I'd advise taking turmeric in small doses more often. About 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon 2 to 3 times daily will be much more beneficial for you, as turmeric does not stay in the body for long, about 6 to 8 hours. So if you take in large quantities, then it will just be eliminated and a waste of some really good benefits. Precautions in pregnant women, as well as people with gallstones or kidney stones, should check with their doctor before using turmeric, because turmeric contains oxalates. High oxalates can increase the prevalence of kidney stones. Coconut oil contains lauric acid, which is known to reduce candida and fight bacteria. Because coconut oil is antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral, it's a wonder food and medicine that when used daily will enhance overall immunity. You can add it to hot drinks like coffee, tea, lattes, or smoothies, or use for frying and cooking. There are actually over 1,500 studies on coconut oil and its benefits to health. It is said that coconut oil is one of the healthiest foods on the planet. That's why coconut oil deserves an entire video on its own, so stay tuned for a more detailed video on all the amazing health benefits of coconut oil. Apple cider vinegar contains antioxidants which fight off infections in the body. It also contains acids which bind to toxins and help the liver eliminate them more effectively. So it helps with body detox by breaking up mucus throughout the body and cleansing the lymph nodes, which allows for better lymph circulation. Only buy unpasteurized, unrefined apple cider, which contains the mother, which is cloudy looking, as opposed to buying the pasteurized, refined apple ciders that don't contain the mother and is more clear looking. When I feel a little bit fatigued, I add about 2 teaspoons to a glass of water and drink that, and it's really amazing how much more energetic I feel. The only precaution I would say is when you do drink apple cider vinegar, make sure you drink it through a straw, because it does contain acids that can erode the teeth. There are no real precautions to apple cider vinegar because it may lower blood sugar levels in people with diabetes. Therefore, blood sugar levels need to be monitored closely, particularly when people with diabetes are on medications. Fermented foods have a powerful effect on your immune system, as they act like probiotics and feed the good bacteria in your gut, which helps to keep away pathogens and increases the production of antibodies. I really love fermented foods like sauerkraut, pickles, kefir, kimchi, olives, or yogurt. Just make sure that there are no added sugars in these foods, as the sugars will decrease the probiotic benefits. Make sure you buy all fermented food that needs to be stored in the fridge, as these will contain live and active cultures. Shelf-bought sauerkraut has been pasteurized, so many of the probiotics will not be as effective, and you just end up throwing away your money. Make sure you read the ingredients and make sure there are no added preservatives or chemicals, as this will kill off many of the good microbes. And of course, you can also make your own. Just a word of caution, kombucha, which is a fermented drink, can make candida overgrowth worse, as it contains wild strains of yeast and will challenge the immune system. So just be cautious of drinking kombucha. I wouldn't have kombucha if you do have a candida problem. Bone broth. This is an amazing food. The gelatin in bone broth heals the gut by promoting the growth of good bacteria. Because inflammation starts in the gut, and toxins, antibiotic use, stress, or poor diet will cause your gut bacteria to be out of balance. And when there are more bad bugs than good bugs, this affects everything from your metabolism, which then means weight loss, to your immune function. It also contains an amino acid called glycine, which has anti-inflammatory properties. Because 80% of your immune system is in the gut, it's so important to keep the good bugs happy so you can experience better immunity. It also helps clean out toxins in the body, as glycine, which is a building block of glutathione, which is a powerful detoxifying agent, will lower oxidative stress and helps with the elimination of heavy metals like mercury and lead. Glycine also makes you sleep better. So what you could do is try a cup of bone broth before bed and see if that makes a difference to your sleep. There are many more benefits to bone broth than just helping with immunity, which I will also speak about in another video. Make your own bone broth. It's way more nutritious and free of added preservatives. A good broth should have the consistency of jelly or gelatine. Any store-bought bone broth that is very liquid and not gelatinized will not have all the benefits, and many will also contain MSG. Stay tuned, as I will also be showing you how to make a good quality bone broth in a future video. I'm not sure if there are any side effects to bone broth, but perhaps you could comment below and tell me if you have had any negative effects from bone broth, or better still, share any of the positive results you have experienced.